This is Austin 2014. This is Austin 2024. Look how much it fills in 10 years. This density. This is Tampa 2012. This is Tampa 2022. Look at this giant thing that's empty. That's where Water Street went in. This is the place that I was like, it's over here. You just couldn't walk more than a block without an awesome restaurant, something really, really cool, something you wanted to walk into and check out, and activities to do. And when you look at what's coming to Jacksonville, this stuff is all this stuff is all in it's already like in the kitchen being cooked. This is how this happens, right? Like these are all the different projects. Talk me through these projects, GC.
Yeah, so we put on a map here all the projects that have recently been completed or are under construction or will be completed in the next year or two. In the same vein of what you just saw in downtown Tampa or downtown Austin, it's happening right now in downtown Jacksonville. So all of these, look at the dates on these. You only see either completed 2025, 2026, and 2028 is the future, the stadium of the future there on the far right hand side. But this is downtown Jacksonville. This is the North Bank on top, the South Bank, and then there's Brooklyn to the west. So this is happening right now. This either these projects are already completed or they have funding or they are significantly close to actually starting. And then this is broken down of whether it's a park or an institutional project or mixed use. And good luck for me telling the difference between the mixed use and the park
Colors.
because I'm colorblind. So you guys have to take it from there. But there's a whole lot of parks and green space, I can tell you that.
Yeah, there is. I mean, this is just like all this stuff is gonna happen in under 5 years. And when you think about the rate of change that can happen in 10 years and all of this stuff already going in the next five, it feels like the flywheel is about to just kind of like jump off the page, right, GC? So bring us back to like what these numbers are supposed to mean and why we should care.
So I hope you all enjoyed that little walking tour, and thanks for letting me share some of my family vacation with you. But as I'm thinking about this, what I want to do is to connect the dots for you as an everyday investor right now making a great decision on an investment. And what I hear over and over again, and maybe you can relate to this, is you know what? I like real estate, but I want to know when's the next like shopping center that's going in, or when's the next like grocery, like really nice grocery store, because I want to buy right next to that. Or people fight to buy a piece of property in a great school district. Like they
Mm.
will literally, best friends will become enemies if it came down to that one property to get into that great school district. And it's because people believe that these catalysts are going to be the thing that's going to drive these outsized returns on investment for them. But what I want to do is what I want to share with all of you is let you know that, you know, that type of thinking is really small and it might not even be relevant to the right investment for you. So we need to go away from shopping centers or grocery stores or schools as being the next big catalyst. Because when you focus on the catalyst, the number one best catalyst for you is to invest next to the next great American downtown. That is thinking bigger. And that is something where when you invest, when you hitch your wagon to the next great American downtown and you invest in an asset that is risk mitigated, that is the greatest catalyst to above average home price appreciation, rent price appreciation, and your improvement of quality of life for that community. You're a part of that. And so I really want us to stop thinking small. I don't want us to start thinking about these things that really don't matter. Schools, shopping centers. Shopping centers can start and then stop 2 years later, right? It doesn't matter. But when you are hitching your wagon to the next great American downtown, that's how you're going to do better out there versus other investors.
I love it, man. As you start pulling up the presentation and the numbers so that we can just kind of like review exactly what that means for an investment, we talk about it all the time, right? This idea of seeing the future. Like there's so much I get more excited when I'm betting in something big that I believe in, right? Like whether it's something I'm doing at work or it's something that I'm like investing in, when I believe that it's part of like a bigger narrative and like a bigger thing that could lead to outsized results, I'm just so much more motivated, right? So like this is why I love buying these like workforce homes around downtown Jacksonville because the input is there. The thing that I'm supposed to be doing today is happening, but like that like passion of something big happening is definitely there too.
I think we all want to be a part of something bigger than ourselves. And, sometimes you have the opportunity to do that in an investment. Sometimes you don't, but you also get to be a part of that too. And for those who get to see, they come down to the summit every single year. You all feel like you're a part of something bigger than yourselves. You feel like you're a part of this movement here in downtown Jacksonville. And I think there's something cool to know that you're on the inside and you see it first. Deion Sanders says he's like keeping receipts out there, right? I have been talking about downtown Jacksonville for, I don't know, 5 years, I don't know, 10 years, right? I've been talking a lot about it. And, in my friend group and, of course, in my professional relationships, everybody's like, oh, all right, Greg. Yeah, sure. Well, I'm keeping receipts, baby, because I can't wait for 5 years from now, 10 years from now, when I'm just going to randomly be downtown enjoying a show or dinner or hanging out in a park. And I'm going to see all of my friends. And I'm going to see all my friends in the business. I'm just going to give them a nod. It's like
Paddleboarding on the river.
Paddleboarding on the river,
Yeah.
So, this is a pretty special time. And I'll kind of go into the numbers here, but I wanted to, of course, go just from not just the feel good of what the great time that you had in Tampa and that I had in Austin. I wanted to put some real numbers to it because this is going to help you actually make the decision. What the numbers say is that you make more money when you invest in a downtown more than any other shopping center, more than any other school district, right? Revitalized downtown cities have appreciated 76% more than the US on average since 2005. And you can see Denver, Austin, I think they're the second highest appreciation behind Nashville here. So this has a real quantifiable effect on your return on investment. And some of you might not remember this. This shocked me when I put this slide together, but Nashville, Austin, and Tampa all had home prices that were both below Jacksonville and the US in 2005. And if we just look at Austin, look at that. $160,000 was the median home sales price in 2005. Jacksonville's was actually $172,000.
Wow.
Right? We were both well below the US average.
Yeah.
Look at what has happened in Austin. The median home sales price now is $430,000. It's 5% above the US. Look at these other data points. Nashville, Denver, Tampa, they all have gone from either way below the national average to above the national average, or in the case of Denver, it was always above the national average, but now it's way above the national average. And ask yourself, what do these cities have in common? What they have in common between each one of these is that they had a revitalized downtown that happened sometime in the 2010s. So if you're thinking about where to put your money, your mind should be saying, I'm not worried about the next grocery store. I'm not worried about the next shopping center. How do I find the next Austin? That's what we should be thinking.
Yeah, and it's similar like the way that you're thinking about grocery stores or shopping centers. You're not buying the shopping center. You just want to buy a home by the shopping center, right? Like, so it's like buying a home by the downtown to me is, do you have that plot graph of like where all these JWB properties are? I mean, that thing, when you showed it to me, it blew my mind, right? Like this just swarm of properties that are all around downtown Jacksonville. Like what I think of just first principles investing, right? Like whether you are an entrepreneur starting a business or you are an investor investing in a certain sector, it is when you are betting on something that is growing rapidly and has a whole bunch of tailwinds pushing it forward, it's like, it's really hard. Like it'll make somebody that's very average look really smart, right? Whereas when you are betting on something that is dwindling and demand is dropping, right? Like good luck building a digital camera business right now, like, or like just ask Kodak, right? Like, or any of these kind of like companies, right? Like, whereas anybody that was building a business during the boom of the internet did really, really well. If you started a social media agency in 2015, you probably did really, really well, right? Like nowadays it's these like AI first companies that are all like booming and doing well. Like betting on the thing that is really bound to grow is the thing that creates these like incredible results for average people and like parabolic results for people that really know what they're doing.
100%. It's so critical. Many people haven't made this connection. And the thing that I love and what I share with investors out there is investing in Jacksonville with JWB is the only opportunity to take advantage of this in a cash flow positive market where there is growth, where there's a professional property management company. Like this is the only opportunity. This is one of the things that differentiates JWB investors, the opportunity they have versus investing in Cleveland or Indianapolis or Kansas City or Memphis or any of those cities. They don't have the opportunity to be the next great American downtown like Jacksonville does. And the numbers show that if you can find the moment to invest, right? It's hard for you to be an early pioneer. I was an early pioneer in downtown Jacksonville, right? I own about 20 city blocks in downtown Jacksonville. A lot of risk when my business partners and I set out to buy that. I was never going to bring that to you guys. That was too much risk. But right now, when we look at that slide, and we'll go back to this slide right here, and you see all of these things that are completed, and you see these things that are under construction, that means that there's cranes moving, there's dollars that's being spent, incentive packages have already been approved. Now you're in this, call it early adopter phase. And if you look at the cycle when people generally make the most money over the long haul, you want to be just before the curve. You just want to be just before mainstream. And that's what you have right now in downtown Jacksonville. So